Adam Kinzinger, I want to read you a quote from the European Union foreign policy chief. Quote, today it became clear that the free...
And especially a foreign leader that's in the middle of a war, frankly, standing in the gap. He has to, for the morale of his people, stand strong for Ukraine. If he comes here and grovels to a toddler that needs to be groveled to, like, what is that sending? What message is that sending to his troops in the trench? It's sending a message that, boy, our future really depends not on your ability to stay and fight, but on whether or not I can grovel to a toddler that wants to be held and coddled. And so what you see from Europe, they're correct. I mean, I'm sorry, I hate to say this, but the United States right now is not the good guys in this. We have been clear. Donald Trump has said everything nice about Russia. I can't think of a single time he said something bad about Vladimir Putin, and it's very rare. We were so shocked yesterday when he said that, oh, did I really say Zelensky was a dictator? This is the moment we're in, and this should be an embarrassment to all Americans.
You met with President Zelensky before he went to the White House today. What can you tell us about that discussion, and what did you think as you watched what happened next?
Well, I was horrified because in the morning we had a bipartisan meeting with President Zelensky, with Senator Graham, Senator Wicker, Senator Grassley. And by the way, through the week, we had meetings with President Macron with a small group of senators led by Senator Thune. And what I kept thinking is, to a T, the Republican senators that have met with these foreign leaders have been very clear that they are supportive of Ukraine, at least the ones that go to the meetings, and that they believe that Vladimir Putin is the dictator and that he started this war. So we start with that. So I thought that President Zelensky, this couldn't have gone better this morning. He was actually looking forward to going over to the White House. He was in good spirits. So when I watched that video, there is one aggressor. There is one side showing disrespect, and that is when J.D. Vance berates a president of a foreign country that is our ally. Zelensky has stood up to a dictator. They have lost hundreds of thousands of people. He did it with three simple words the first day of the invasion when he went down to the street corner, when everyone had counted him out and said three words, we are here. And that has never changed. The mass graves in Bucha, the burned out apartment buildings that I saw with my own eyes in Irpin, the Ukrainians have been incredibly brave. And so for Donald Trump and J.D. Vance to look at him and say, you never thanked us, that is just an all-out lie, and everyone knows that. So for me, I believe so strongly that we have to stand with Ukraine that I have to figure out, and so do other senators, and I did talk to Republicans tonight, where do we go from here? And there is no choice but to continue on and to find a reset. Our European allies really stood up this week. They've pledged troops, Great Britain and France, to work with Ukraine in large numbers to form a security line once an agreement is reached. The Italian prime minister, who is very conservative, went to Trump's inauguration, has called for a summit in the last 5 hours. She has stood with Ukraine. So I think you see others standing up, as you just noted, with President Zelensky, and I hope we see more of that in the next few days. We have no choice but to move forward.
Senator, let me pick up on something you just said. You said you've talked to your Republican counterparts tonight. What are they saying?
Well, there are, I've talked to two, and they would like to get this back on track. I don't think that they will be saying that publicly right now. I don't know when, but we really don't have a choice when dealing with Donald Trump. I listened to the entire Marco Rubio interview tonight, and while I completely disagreed with him as he berated again Zelensky, I just ask your viewers to watch that tape. Watch J.D. Vance's body language. Watch Zelensky saying, now, could I answer that? Do you mind? He was...
Also want to bring in the Democratic senator from Arizona, Mark Kelly, who met with Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky just this morning. Senator, first of all, let me get your reaction to what you saw in the Oval Office. And did you have any inkling at all that, based on your conversation with President Zelensky, this could turn quite so contentious?
I did, not from our meeting this morning. But, Chris, let me just start by saying what a complete and utter mess. And this is a gift to Putin. And make no mistake, and I hope the American people get this, that this makes us look weak. And it's not normal behavior. The United States, Chris, we are a superpower. Our powers, our military, our economy, our diplomatic corps, our professionalism. This was not professional. We don't gain anything by acting like bullies. And this is what bullies do. And just because you act this way, by the way, it doesn't mean that you're tough. So this is a mess. I hope we can repair this relationship. President Zelensky and his country, they are grateful. You know, saying thank you in the Oval Office, being put on the spot like that is, it seemed to me that it was just, J.D. Vance saying, hey, look what I can do, Dad. And it doesn't help the situation. This negotiation should have been done behind closed doors. And this morning we had a good meeting, Democrats and Republicans in the Senate that support Ukraine. We had a good meeting with the president. We talked about a lot of issues. We didn't do it in front of cameras intentionally. Roger Wicker, in fact, asked, there were some cameras there, and we had them leave the room before we started to have the discussion. That's the way you should do this.
So let me ask you then about where this goes from here. And I wonder where you think your Republican colleagues will be, because, and I can't say that I have done an exhaustive search because I've been on the air, but I've only seen one Republican member of Congress, who is a member of the House, say anything negative about what they just saw in the Oval Office. And where does this go from here? And does Congress have any role in it at all?
One thing is that I want to read the quotes from the European Union Foreign Policy. Check quotes. Today it became clear that we were need the new leader. It's up to us Europeans to take these challenges. Look, let me be clear about something. No foreign leader should come and vote to the President of the United States. They lead a foreign country, a country that is sovereign, and especially a foreign leader that's in the middle of a war, frankly, standing in the gap, storm from the Ukraine. If he comes here and grasps to a toddler that needs to be brave to look like, what is that standing? What message is that sending to his troops in the French? It's sending a message that while our future really depends not on your ability to stay and fight, but on whether or not I can travel to a toddler that wants to be held and condoled. And so what you see from Europe, they are correct. I am sorry. I hate to say this, but the United States right now is not the good guys in this. We have been clear. Donald Trump has said everything nice about Russia. I cannot think of a single time he said something bad about Vladimir. And it's very rare. We were so shocked yesterday when he said that. What did I really say this speech? Was a director, this is the moment we are in, and this should be an embarrassment to all Americans. We met with President before he went to the White House today. What can you tell us about the discussion and what you think as you wanted that happen?